If you run after your destiny, you will automatically distance yourself from your history.
You got to get up early. You got to make a list. You got to show up with a great attitude, and you got to get it done.
I feel confident. I know what I'm doing, know what I'm supposed to do. I believe in my ability to figure things out. I will earn this.
To truly succeed, you have to control your thinking. But in today's digital media world, it's tougher than ever.
What is your true calling? What is your dharma? What is your purpose?
What I'm doing is not for right now. It's for the generations to come. So hopefully my life will stand the test of time. And whatever I build, whatever I sow, how I treat people, particularly those who don't look like me or come from where I come from or think like me or have my perspective, if I can treat them with honor and dignity and respect, if I can fight for their hopes, their dreams, and their aspirations, and I can lift somebody else, if I can push one person into destiny, then all the years of my life will have been worth it. And then I can say with surety, my life was a success.
So a lot of times we don't have faith in other people. We don't have faith in the external world, situations and circumstances that are out of our control. When that happens, we sort of lose it. And highly motivated individuals like yourself tend to be control freaks. And they've made an association in their mind that they got to where they were based on everything that was in their control, and so that they need to control more. And that's great because there are a lot of things that are in your control. But guess what? There are a lot of things that are not in your control. External circumstances, you can't control everything. External situations, you're not going to be able to control everything. Other people, you will not be able to control. You will not be able to change them. And we sort of lose it when dealing with other people, because that is the biggest thing. They're not in your control. And so they have a free mind, they have their own opinions, and we like to have other people sort of buy into our way. And that's a way of being influential, but you're not going to be able to be on the same page as everybody. They're not going to be on the same page as you. And that's because we all have our own opinions based on our own experiences, you see? And I want you to take a look at the world around you, okay? Just take a look. Right, this is an entire city. Look how many buildings are made. Do you know what goes into making a building? Somebody created this. A group of people created this. Lots of workers made something so formidable. You see? Businesses are established. Hundreds, thousands in your city that are established. These are all by people just like you, just like me. Right? So, is it really fair to not think that other people are motivated and have interests at heart beyond their own selfish reasons? You have to understand something in life. You will not be able to do it all by yourself. You have to place faith in other people. I would not be where I am today without my business partner, Richie, right? So I owe a lot to him. I would run through a wall for him just like he would for me. You see, and I wouldn't be in the position I am today without my parents, without my sister. Lots of people who came in my life, friends. You're not going to be able to do it all by yourself. Stop trying. You need to place faith in other people.
Yes. Awesome. All right. Good morning. Like I said, every message always comes at the right time. That's so funny how that happens. But I needed to hear that today because, you know, we always think that we're in this on our own, but really we need it. We need this whole team. We need everybody. We need the people that we're bringing in to help us. And then if we think that we're just going to be doing this all on our own, and I've done that my whole life. I'm kind of a person that wants to do everything. I have a hard time outsourcing things because I could just do it better. You know, gotta let go of that. If for sure. And yeah, and I like what he said at the beginning about being confident, knowing what you're supposed to do. I think we're all at that stage right now. We're pretty well clear on what we're supposed to be doing for this launch. And until, or I hope so, I'm getting clearer anyway. But once that thing is clear, then you can start to run, because I feel like I'm not able to run until that point. And that's another thing about this whole control thing, thinking you can do it all on your own. But once you have a clear vision of what you have to do, then you just go out there and do it. And I think that's important. The other thing I think is hugely important is controlling your thoughts. And like you said, that's becoming more and more difficult. I'm having a difficult time because, everything always, your thoughts always get pulled away very easily by some text message, something you get on social media to make some connections, and then next thing you're sidetracked doing, watching some video of puppies or something, it's got nothing to do, but it's so hard to control your thinking to be straight, and it's getting harder and harder, I find. Before the internet and all this social media and phones, and I can remember getting my first iPhone, thinking, well, I don't need this big thing in my pocket. Why do I want? Phones were getting smaller and smaller, and all of a sudden the iPhone comes out, and you got to carry this big thing in your pocket. And wow, how times have changed since that first phone came out, because we're glued to it now, constantly. But cool, yeah, being a control freak and striving for perfection. That's been my problem. I want to get rid of that. I don't need the control, and I don't need perfection. So. That was awesome. So I don't know what you guys think, but that was great.
You're only getting old when you quit learning and doing.
Yep.
It's not.
Maybe that's why I don't feel old.
Right.
It's not knowing what to do, but how to do it that stops people also.
Yep. How to do it, and I think as you keep doing it, like we were talking last night on the meeting, just, was it last night? But about the idea, everything's a blur now. But the idea of getting into it was last night, getting into the mud, just get into the mud and start figuring it out. If you're not doing it, you're not figuring it. So once you get into the mud, then you start figuring out what you need to do. But yeah. And like Mark says all the time, just pivoting. This doesn't work. Okay, let's try this. Let's try that.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Hey, can I butt in?
Yeah, go ahead, Tom. Hey, good to see you.
I'm listening in, but I hear not knowing how to do it, not being able to. If we have one of these big boxes in our pocket, we have all the knowledge in the world. And if we simply apply what we get out of this big box on a regular basis, we develop a skill. So it's not the knowledge, it's not the skill, it's the lack of taking the action. That's all it comes down to, And you don't have a belief strong enough to have you take the action. I know it sounds simple, and that's really where it is. It's that simple. I mean, you can research, Eric Worre, all kinds of people. They're going to tell you exactly how to do it.
Yeah.
And if you stick with it, if you apply what they tell us, and you apply it on a regular basis, you develop a skill. And if you use that skill enough, you develop a muscle with that skill. And now you can use it anywhere, not even think about it, So we all like to make those excuses, the knowledge or the skill or whatever. But in essence, we have access to all the knowledge we need. And we start applying it. The reason we don't apply it is because we don't have a belief structure that supports it.
Yeah, the belief structure is we don't believe that we can do it, or we don't believe we know how to do it, but we do.
Yeah, you do, it's just an excuse. That's all it is. That's your subconscious showing up saying, that's not part of who you are. Why are you doing this? You can't do this, That's why you got to rewrite that subconscious program to include prospecting. Reaching out, making lists, following up.
Yes. And then once you rewrite it, it becomes your new way of who you are and who you're being. And then you believe you can do it because you know you can do it. And then you've changed that subconscious belief system. And actually, I worked with a a neuroscientist that says it's actually a physical thing, neuron in your brain that the old one dims out and it allows the new one to grow. A physical neuron, like that's amazing. So and in order to grow the new ones, you have to dim the old ones out, the belief that you can't do it. And now you got a belief that you can do it. Sure, that's crazy.
I mean, you're basically the whole idea with the vision statement and visualization and everything like that is to create those new neural pathways. You know, you get to, through that, cognitive priming, we get to create new neural pathways for those new beliefs to take place. And we're going to take the energy out of the old ones by identifying them as a default program from our past that has no reality. And then what happens is we can start to adopt these new neurological patterns. And, in other words, you're just rehearsing your success. That's all it comes down, Visualization is the simulation of your success. That's from John Asraf. But as we, the pilots, we go into the simulator to practice, not that we don't get it wrong. We practice it so we know we're going to get it right,
Right, that's a good analogy.
It becomes addictive, I mean, it's, I know it's crazy, but that's what it comes down to. When you're really ready, you create that new belief. Just change one belief. What it'll do for your life is crazy,
Yeah, like for me, I changed my belief and started to get up early. That's the first thing he talks about in this video. I never used to get up early. Now I get up at 6 a.m. That's just who I am. That's just a thing now. It's taken me over a year, maybe longer. But now if I don't get up at 6 a.m., I get up a little bit late. It's like 6:30. It's still like a lot earlier than everybody else gets up.
Acknowledge that success. Acknowledge that success as a new achievement too. That's
right.
Because every time you reach another success like that, no matter how big or small, you get to stack that up on top of your previous successes. And that starts to build your self-confidence. It starts to believe your belief, increase your belief level if you're a person who keeps those promises that you make to yourself,
Right, for sure. And we were talking the other day about how do you get yourself into that state of acknowledging your success. Mark actually came up with a strategy a while back that I've hung on to that works really well too. Because if you first thing, if I make some money, the money comes in and it shows up in my account, that's a success, right? And then you anchor that, and Mark says to anchor it. Like for what I do, I go like this, like the money thing. I'm feeling it and I'm hearing it in my ears. And so if I want to get into that, I'm into the state right now, I can feel it. So if I wanted to get into the state of making money, that's anchored now, because when I made money, I do this every time. And now it's like, wow, now I feel like I'm making money instantly. And then the other thing I do, I learned that from Mark too. If I want to get into the excited, like if I do something that I feel is exciting and I'm happy about it, I got this done or whatever, I got up at 6 in the morning, that's great. I did this. So as soon as I do that now, I get that feeling again of, we did it. Yeah. So if I want to get in the feeling of I did it, it just takes me that little simple thing. And you can create your own. It's amazing how it works.
Part of those things are increasing your enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Your enthusiasm.
Yeah, and then when you're in the state where you're moping around and you don't feel like doing something, you can change it like that, just because it's like hearing an old song, like we were saying the other day. It brings you back to your first dance and your first kiss and all that stuff. That one song, that same thing works the same way. So that's awesome.
Anything to just change your state, change your physical state will take your mind off of that other spot or put you into that spot,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Your mental state.
30-day.
Changing your mental state that we're talking about.
Yeah. But your physical state will help you change your mental state. When you change that physical state, doing something like Don was just saying, snapping fingers, rubbing the fingers together or shaking his arms. That's breaking that breaking that chain. You know, Mel Robbins talks about it with her 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You know, to break free of that, to get you into action or whatever, to take the next step. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, she talks about that soon as you don't, as soon as you have a thought of you want to do something, I want to get out of bed, and then the next thing you know, you're hitting the snooze alarm. That as soon as you have that thought, you start counting down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you do it, because that stops your brain thinking of all the reasons why you don't want to do it, because you're doing something. You're counting 5, 4. And yeah, so that's the same thing. It's some kind of thing to get you going on what you're trying to do.
Well, these cold mornings, you have to do that just to get out of bed.
Yeah, oh, it's too cold. It's too early. I'm tired.
I think Don has to worry about that. Right?
What's that, Tom? Yeah.
I don't think Don has to worry about it being too cold to get out of bed down there.
No, I don't have to worry about that. It's funny. I'm thinking we don't even have any heat in the house here. Like, even if it got cold one morning, there's no heat going on.
You have no haters?
It's funny.
No need them, never. Yeah. And then I don't need air conditioning either. Only like 2 months out of the year I use it when it's kind of too hot. But yeah, so the same things on air conditioning. But I guess, yeah.
Rough life.
Yeah, I guess being too hot wouldn't be a reason to not get out of bed. It would be like, oh, it's too hot out there, I'm not getting out of bed. But if it's too cold, you don't feel like getting out of bed. I know that feeling because I grew up in that feeling. Like, my comforters had to be like this thick, you know, when I was in Canada. But yeah, I think that's going to be that is the greatest challenge. Don't you agree? We got 1 minute left, but the greatest challenge is up here with whatever we're doing, is to get this thing done. If we can figure this out, how to control that, how to get the work done, how to get it, how to be working for 90 days. That's going to be every day, not only an everyday challenge, an every minute of the day challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're going full time at it, every minute of the day.
Every minute of the day. Yeah, for sure. So, and okay, we'll wrap it up. Awesome, guys. Have an awesome day. Wake up early tomorrow.
Yeah, you go. Thank you, Don.
Drink water. Everybody
water.
drink water. Bye, Jan.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Have a productive day.
Bye, Jan.
Bye, Jan.
Bye, Mark.
Bye,
Bye,
Mark.
Tom. Bye, Brady.